huge in this game.
He's
massive.
He was tall in the last game, this man's massive. His sword is touching the life bars.
Like a boss now.
He's massive.
Like he feels.
Look, his sword
like
is passing the life bars. Oh my god.
Kentaro style sub boss.
This dude is a giant.
All right, let's talk more about. Let's talk about like his. Sort of, you want to? I know that you're very excited about this, Steve.
Yes.
So let's do a Steve's.
This man's straight peacocking.
A lot of people have asked
For
over the last couple years, where was Kotal Kahn during the original games?
Right.
And I have words straight from Dom himself. This is my most time I've ever been for a lore minute. He was a general for Shao Kahn, and Shao Kahn viewed him as a threat and actually locked him away in Shang Tsung's flesh pits, where he was experimented on. And when Shang Tsung died, he was released. And that's why he was able to return to his position and why he wasn't in the classic games. You see, fans thought it was a plot hole.
No, sir.
It's lore.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was
Steve's lore minute.
Zekin
wait,
says, I have a feeling they'll show her next Kombat cast.
Yeah.
Steve's lore.
That's what I thought last time.
Awesome.
But,
So,
you know, they have to show her
archetype
next time, right?
I would
They
call
have
him a
to.
brawler in this game. In the last game, he was a
6'8" prob.
50-50 character. He had a really, really good
Dude's
overhead.
a fucking
to say the
giant.
least. And he had a really, really good low. And
Sorry, that's all you were doing.
And in this game, I would say he's more of a mid-range footsie character, which is a common theme. That he uses his weapon all the time, and he's really
Everyone's
good
a
at mid-range.
mid-range
It seems like,
footsie character.
as we were just saying, like everyone's really digging it, and he plays into that because he's a master of weapons.
He also has quite possibly a top 5 move for me ever in this.
We got to save that for Loadout 3.
Then we already showed it in the trailer.
Well, chill.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
There.
Oh, yeah.
But still, I mean,
The
like,
cat
still.
thing.
When we get to it, I'll
That's a crazy
they'll into
move.
my styles.
So let's
Let
start
Devora
off with
turn
his
into a
gameplay.
bug.
He has a lot of really good strings in the mid-range. Back 2-2-3 has a ton of range.
Yeah.
Into the overhead.
Ends in an overhead.
Shit. There's definitely a big ass
he's
gap.
the butt
in
of his
that.
sword. He advances a lot before going into it.
Alright.
I'm a big fan. He's got a big boot, a big
boot.
leg.
Oh,
It's like
shit.
sweet chin music. He's got a low combo
Low,
starter.
okay.
He does not have an overhead combo starter. So again, a theme with this game is characters
50,
have like a really good low overhead, but then the other one's not so great. So he'll use his standard hop attack.
What's up with that dino head back there, bro?
Goro's Lair.
Oh,
yes.
one thing we didn't mention, we have added. We've been asked for it. More stages have been
Yes.
added.
Yeah.
Gora's Lair here. Got a couple more as well. We will be having some background breakdowns. Always
That's
hard to say. Very soon. We were going to do it this week, but
is
the
that,
guys who are going to do
headbutting
it
him?
are at GDC. So we'll get there.
So another one of his strings, I think it's one of his best range strings because it's super fast, is his forward 1. The downside is it starts with a high, so it'll lose to a down attack, but you can see it advances super fast. It just kind of slaps you. And this one is
Interesting.
actually
A crushing blow.
As fast as you can.
a crushing blow.
That
That
launches.
leads to a pop-up if
Interesting.
it counter hits. So that would mean at the mid-range, if you think they're going to throw out a slow attack, like maybe Sub-Zero is going to do his back too, you go ahead and throw that out. If you get the counter hit, you're going to get a pop-up.
You might not be a tournament player anymore. Like, that's obvious, right? But there is no one better at working the menu screens than you.
It's just practice. Check out his throws.
You just grind
16%
menu,
damage throw?
Working.
No,
Wait,
it
what?
just comes naturally.
Did his forward throw do 16%
Alright, so
and his
let's go
back
over
throw did
special moves.
14%?
That's kind of a
What's with
taste of
that?
his normal attacks, which are, you really can't go wrong at mid-range.
That's weird.
Oh, another cool thing is those daggers, the snake daggers, he now uses them more. You can see he uses them, his hop attack, his combos and stuff.
Like
They're,
when you start a match with Kotal, like right from this distance, like, well,
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
if you know that they're not going to do like a low attack, you can't go wrong with starting with forward 1. But then if you read that, you can do his down 4.
Ooh, that's good.
You could go for a jump in. You could go for his forward 2.
Does he have
It's
any
on the slower
good
side,
mids,
But that's
though?
what complements the forward 1.
Does he have good mids? Because good
So let's go
mids
over
are
special
huge.
attacks. Yep. The
Especially
key
in
ones from
MK11, I
MKX are
think.
back with new animations, and they're slightly different, but the core of them's back. Like, we talked about his dagger, it's his parry's back. He can
He
hold
has
it.
a parry.
If the
Alright.
opponent attacks, he'll absorb the attack.
And then have his
And then he
advantage.
can have his advantage and go for a combo.
Yep.
The disc is back.
Hey.
It's super fast in this one. It does
Way
a lot
faster.
of damage.
I love the effect of it breaking on the
Yeah,
body.
that looks super cool.
Really nice.
His Sunbeam is back. If he's standing in it, he actually gets life back.
Nice.
Then he has
Cool.
several new moves, which this is one of my favorites, the Saw move. It's a great combo ender, and it's just absolutely nasty looking.
There was something kind of in MKX where he went over and did a soft. This lifts him straight up, which I think is awesome.
So this has a crushing blow. If the move hits as an anti-air, it counter hits.
Oh,
Here we go.
wow,
There we go. A counter hit or a punish as an anti-air, you get a crushing blow, and it gets significantly more damage. And then he has this really, I love the.
Look at that! Look at the effects on the ground. That looks so
He's
good.
opening up the ground.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a hell of a ground pound.
Ouch.
So those are his base moves, and I,
Those
as
are all
always,
base
set up
moves.
3 loadouts. So let's go through that.
One of our lights popped off. That's good.
Even the lights are popping off.
We're live, pal. We'll fix that momentarily.
All right, so the first one I gave him is an amplified sun disk, where he uses a beam of light from the sun, which is canon here in Goro's lair. You can see it on Goro's corpse, right?
He's just reflecting
And it's
it
a
off.
full screen beam attack.
That's probably
That's
why
pretty cool.
Goro died, is because he got burned.
A lack of sunlight.
Right.
Oh, he got burned or a lack of
I mean,
sunlight?
there's sunlight right on it.
This is not a lore minute.
I do think it's nice to think that the prince died in his home. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like that's how I want to
He
die.
had a
Like
peaceful death.
in my chair, you know,
In your lair.
in my lair, right? My apartment, my lair.
My little Oni buddies around. Right.
Anyway, this loadout I based on totems. So he has
Totems.
4 totems in total.
So totems
2
return.
at a time. So I went with this one, which gives him a
Hey.
damage buff. So you can see.
All right,
here's
that's
the
pretty
damage
cool.
on
He
the
has
screen.
like you can still play
154.
Blood God,
Add this bad boy
Kotal,
out.
perhaps
Doing
in this
184.
game.
Okay.
Now
Kinda
here's
cool.
the new feature. So that's very similar to MKX, but we always try to advance things. You can actually now stack totems.
Stack them totally.
Whoa!
How many can you stack?
Wow!
3 times. So let's look at the damage.
What?
And,
Yeah.
You
and
can
that'll add
stack
each
them
buff.
up?
You can
Oh
also stack
shit!
multiple totems. So
Oh shit!
this totem is his blood absorb, the blood god totem, where every time it hits you,
Yo.
the blood gets absorbed in the totem.
That's kind of cool. Can
And
you
when it
stack
times
different
out, that'll Actually,
totems?
go to Kotal's health. You'll see all the blood he's absorbing, and when it times out, he's going to get health back. So you can
Full
actually,
health right now, so-
yes, but so you can have this totem out, then a damage one,
Whoa.
and another damage one, or vice versa, or 3 of one.
The
So we have 4
fuck?
different totems you can choose
Look,
from.
the top of
Another
him-
one that I didn't
top of
put,
him is
really
red
cool. It buffs his
Because
regen,
of the
his
blood,
stamina.
and then he's like
So if
going
you're using
into the
your burn
blues
attacks all the time,
because those are at the lower end, I
Yeah.
think.
Absolutely.
he has significantly faster regen.
That's pretty awesome. And you said you can only have 2 of those out
Right.
at a time.
Damn,
4 totems that
Kotal
you can choose
Kahn.
from. You can have 2 that you choose.
It's pretty
And then you
cool.
can have 3 that you can stack, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You can mix and match as you please.
Yep, and it just looks cool to stack the totems. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Is there only
The
2
map
different
is
types of
actually
totems?
confusing me just
Okay.
now.
All right, so there are.
Where's the
I get
defense
it.
totem
All
at?
right, so let's go to a second loadout. I'm a huge fan of this one.
Where's the defense totem at?
You're a fan of pretty much all of them, Steve.
This one I'm really into.
Oh, super fan. Gotcha.
Because this is my cat loadout.
Oh,
cool.
look at that.
He turns into a jaguar,
What
and he has
is
this full screen lunging attack that goes into this awesome thing.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, that's what cats do, right?
Yeah.
You know what this means though? Like
Every time.
them being
Then
able
we
to
didn't see this
transform
in
him
the
like
trailer. He
this
actually has an
leads me
airline.
to believe
He
that
does a
hey,
party crasher
Beast
move,
Boy
turns
for
into a
Injustice
cat,
3,
and then
guys.
rolls away.
Beast Boy for Injustice 3.
And this is great for, you know,
I want to see
faking
Beast
and
Boy in
jumping,
Injustice 3. They can do it. They can
or
do
jumping over
changing
fireballs and
animations.
punching them.
Show me Beast Boy in Injustice.
And then
3.
lastly, I gave him this sundial move, which controls the air, and when he amplifies it, he gets this big burst that'll knock the person down. You can do it as a combo ender, as a guaranteed anti-air if you read they're going to jump,
Sure.
and just to bring sunshine to the room.
Oh, that's sweet. Sweet. I like that.
Maybe most important of all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
It's the friendships we made along
He's
the way.
a just and benevolent Khan in a way. Like, he's kind of a tyrant, but he's better than Shao Kahn.
Oh,
and I think
absolutely.
he would bring sun. I must bring sun to my Aztec.
What a compliment. He's better than Shao Kahn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a compliment.
Yeah. All right.
Right?
So what
That's
about
what I
the
think.
loadout?
I,
Sure.
I think they're
This is
they're
your
using
loadout.
this as kind of like experimentation
I'm also. This
for
is my
Beast
skin
Boy's
that I use.
transformations. You know,
It's preview
he
one.
has to be in
This is my
Injustice
skin.
3. He has to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Look at him.
What exactly is
That's
on
kinda
his
cool.
head?
That's a bear head.
A bear head.
That's a bear
Damn,
he
Kotal Kahn.
personally killed.
Okay. Okay.
So, this loadout, the first thing I gave him was a different amplified discus throw, where he actually literally does a discus throw. And you can actually do this up close, and it'll, the swing hits. So it's a good combo ender for damage, and it just looks funny. Then I gave him this pop-up attack, this
Oh, there
sunlight
we go.
uppercut, which is like
It's
one of his
4-2.
main combo starters.
it's kind of like it's towards 2 or whatever.
Yeah, it's very similar to Towards 2 in the last game.
But that's a special move now?
And then a command grab, which is so good.
This is the move.
A command grab?
Amplified version of
Yo,
this
Biohazard,
move.
where are you at? Kotal Kahn has a command
So
grab.
when he drinks
man,
blood, he gets a buff. You can see his tattoos are glowing, and that gives him a damage buff.
Yo,
He can
that
stack
blood
it
buff?
3 times. Every
Damn,
time you do it,
dude.
the tattoos are going to glow longer,
God.
and the buff lasts longer. Now you can see he'll be at max level. His tattoos are hella glowing.
This is
and
kind
now he
of
gets this
reminiscent
damage
of
buff.
Sun God in a way.
And it lasts
the way
a
his-
pretty
he's
good amount of
powering
time.
up.
So the more command grabs you do, the more stronger you get. And he has tick throws, just like you'd expect. His down one.
Explain tick throws for those who don't know what that means.
The idea there is you're doing a normal attack that the opponent blocks, and you cancel into the command grab, and the opponent's still going to be blocking, and they'll actually get grabbed. So for example, with 4-3-4,
I think my brother might wanna might look into Kotal Kahn now, because he has this command grab.
with 4-3-4, it's an advancing 2-hitting string, so the opponent's going to want to keep blocking. You can go into that, and it'll actually go into the throat. So the opponent has to let go of block to like uppercut you or hop attack out, which means you can then go into doing the whole string.
Got it.
And this is another one that's really good.
Who's my brother? Biohazard.
So those are my Kotal Kahn loadouts. I would say he's pretty similar to the flavor of MKX. Great range, the command grab's back, the totems are back.
Oh shit.
His actually starts with an overhead, which is pretty rare.
He has an overhead. Ooh.
And remember earlier we were talking about how he has a really good advancing.
I think Jackie's is
Doesn't
better.
have a big overhead to complement
Yeah,
it.
that one was alright. It was solid.